can't get a clean look on this, but if there's another thing that just makes me think that this thing is probably over, is that they're starting to like blame people. Like that's always what you got to do when things don't go well. You got to place the blame somewhere. And so in Ukraine, they went, it was this guy. And have you ever seen a better face for a fall guy in your entire life? Is that not like, it's almost like they bred that guy in one of those Ukrainian biolabs. It's the Fall Guy 3000. And now that the Ukraine war is seemingly coming to an end, are you guys at all concerned that Putin's going to go ahead and take over the rest of Europe? You guys concerned about this? I don't know. I'm concerned for an emboldened Putin because even before he won this war, he was already causing our inflation. Right? He was also causing our supply line issues. Hell, I even heard he was doing Hunter's cocaine at the White House. Which, by the way, that might be my single favorite story of like the entire year. Did you guys see that one? He was over at the White House. He's got the big bag. Well, he didn't have that. That I photoshopped. But he was clearly doing coke up there. And like people were getting really pissed off because Biden, he wrote the crime bill, right? And so they were going like, this is a double standard. This is a double standard. And I agree. How is he still getting clean cocaine? Right? The rest of us are dealing with this fentanyl stuff and the elite still have clean cocaine. Like the only way you can do cocaine now is if you're on a date and you go, ladies first. That's the only way you can do that drug. They look up at you like, hey, you want some? And you're like, in 10 minutes. Why don't you get a head start on that? Which brings us to, now we got the Gaza war. And listen, if you're against this war, you know, you're an anti-Semite. You can't be against this one. Like most wars you can be against, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the updated guide of what you're allowed to oppose by way of baby murders, but... And now this is the big thing, right? Everyone's like baby murders. You can't murder any babies. Why is it that 18 to 50-year-old males are the ones that have to go fight and die in war? If anything, I say let's send the babies. That's what I say. Because you know why? Firstly, they just got here. And that could be a shitty baby. So... All right, really, I think if we're already going to start selecting what groups are going to the war, I think we should take, like, old drunks. That's who I think. Like, think about it. Like, I'm talking about the guys who drink so much that if they woke up in Gaza, they might look around and go, man, I really got to clean this apartment. Like, let's take these guys and have beer league warfare. That's what I say. Or here are some other disposable groups. I'm thinking maybe like fitness influencers. Or men who participate in women's marches. Now, the whole like way that warfare is kind of fought, I don't know, there's just weird oddities to me. Because like, for example, you look at what's going on between us and Russia, it kind of looks like the whole game is trying to get other people to fight wars for you, right? It's like we look to Zelensky and we're like, you got this. Don't worry. It's like, get out there, right? And then, if I had to describe, and then what you do is basically you take out strategic assets and play the most high-stakes game of, wasn't me. Like, if I had to describe our U.S. foreign policy as a movie, it would be called Some Done Cunt Out for Vengeance Without a Plan. The story of a bereaved wife who blows up her husband's pipeline, steals his boat, makes it so he can't spend any of his money, and then goes, we're not fighting. We're totally cool. What are you talking about? All right, I got a different solution here. Maybe we're not going to end all wars, but maybe what we can do is at least keep them all in the Middle East. You know, where God wants them. Like, I almost think if China's going to take Taiwan, they should go to Israel to do so. Like, look at it this way. Gaza's already been bombed, and the Jews are good at renting things out. Now, I look at everything that goes on in the Middle East, and I almost look at this, and it seems to me, it's almost like God's a dude with 3 girlfriends. And he told all of them, hey, you're my special someone. We should be together in the Holy Land. And then they keep showing up and going, who the fuck is this bitch? And then fighting forever. There's a very strange storyline in the support for Israel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but apparently one of the reasons that there's so much support for Israel is that the evangelical Christians, they believe that if we continue to send money over Israel and the Jews living in Israel rebuild the temple, that we'll have the rapture and Jesus is going to come back. Have you guys heard of this? This is a real thing. They're literally sending money over there because they think the Jews are going to rebuild the temple. And I'm here to tell you, if you keep sending Jews money, they are never going to rebuild that temple. They will build everything else. That's what's going to happen. They're pulling an old school contractor scam of, yeah, we're just waiting on some materials. These are ancient rocks over here. We got to match them. This isn't easy.